Hey guys, welcome to this beginner's guide to Windows Subsystem for Linux. In today's video, we will explore Windows Subsystem for Linux and I will guide you through the full installation process for WSL. First, we will understand what is WSL. So, Windows Subsystem for Linux is a feature of Windows that allows you to run a Linux environment inside your Windows operating system without the need for a separate virtual machine or dual booting. So if you are a student or you are in a traditional corporate environment with a lot of restrictions that you cannot install any third-party software like VMware or VirtualBox, then WSL is the best solution for you. WSL is developed by Microsoft and it is already inbuilt into your Windows 10 or Windows 11 operating system. So you don't need to worry about any compatibility issues. We can see here it states Windows Subsystem for Linux lets user to run a GNU or Linux environment including most of the command line tools, applications and utilities directly on Windows unmodified and without the overhead of a traditional virtual machine or dual boot setup. Now let's understand what are the advantages of using WSL. So the first advantage is you can run a Linux distribution inside your Windows operating system and without the overhead of a traditional virtual machine. So you don't need to install any third-party virtualization software. Also, you don't need to install any Linux ISO files because WSL is already integrated into your system, and when you use WSL, your Linux distribution will automatically be installed. So we will see this process in our video later. Also, no need for a dual boot setup. So in earlier days, people used to do a dual boot setup for installing Linux and Windows side by side on the same machine. So that also you don't need to do. Also, WSL provides an easy experience for users who want to use both Windows and Linux at the same time. So with WSL, you can run an entire Linux virtual machine just like as you are running the commands in a CMD. So the transition is very seamless between your Windows and the Linux environment. Also, the last point is not only CLI, but you can run Linux graphical applications on WSL. That is, your Linux graphical applications are integrated directly to your Windows desktop. Now we will see what are the WSL versions available. So as of now, there are only two versions of WSL available, WSL1 and WSL2. And WSL2 is the latest version. So WSL2 is only available in Windows 11 or Windows 10 and the minimum version is 1903 and the build should be 18362 or later. So before installing WSL, you can check the compatibility whether your Windows OS is compatible for WSL. So in order to do that, what you can do is you can press Windows logo key plus R and then you can type WinVer and then you can check your Windows version. Okay, so let me press Windows logo key and R, then I will type WinVer and then I will click OK. So I can see I am running Windows 11 Enterprise operating system and my version is 22H2 and the OS build is 22621.3447. So my Windows operating system is compatible for installing WSL. This is the official website for WSL. I'll provide the link in the description box for your reference. So here we are in the official website for WSL. So if you want to read more and deep dive into WSL, I recommend you to visit this website and you can go through this website. So let's check how to install WSL. We will go to the official website and check the prerequisites. So it says you must be running Windows 10 version 2004 and higher or Windows 11. So let's check. We will type Windows key and R, and we will type WinVer. Okay, so I am good. I am running Windows 11. Okay, now the next thing is to enable the Windows features. So for that, go to search, turn Windows features on and off. Okay, and then we need to enable two settings here. So just scroll down and just enable Windows Subsystem for Linux and Virtual Machine Platform. So just enable these two settings and then click OK. So this will install both of these features, and then it will ask you for a reboot. Just reboot your laptop and you are done. So I'm not going to do that because these two features are already installed on my laptop. After reboot, open CMD or PowerShell. The commands for both CMD and PowerShell are same. Open PowerShell and run as administrator. So the first command to check whether WSL has been installed successfully or not, just type WSL -version. Now we can see WSL has been successfully installed on my laptop and the version is 2.1.5.0. Okay, and you can see also the kernel versions and other informations. Also, just type WSL -status, and you can see the default version is 2. Also it says WSL1 is not installed on our laptop, right? So let me tell you, there are two versions for WSL as of now, version 1 and version 2, and version 2 is the latest one. Okay, now the next thing is we need to install the Linux distribution. So for that, we need to know what are the Linux distributions available with WSL. For that, we need to type this command. Let me clear this out. So just type WSL -L-O. Okay. Now the following is a list of valid distributions that can be installed. So here are the list of distributions that you can install on your Windows 11 laptop. Okay. So these are Ubuntu, Debian, Kali is there. Also Ubuntu different versions are there. Oracle Linux is there. OpenSUSE is there, and SUSE is there. Now we need to install the Linux distribution. So for that, the command is WSL -install. So if we type this command, the default Ubuntu Linux distribution will get installed on my laptop. Now if you want to install a different version, say you want to install Debian or you want to install Oracle Linux, then you need to specify that distribution name after install. So say I want to install Debian, so I need to type DEBIAN and then I need to hit enter. Okay, but for this video I will install the default Ubuntu version and we will see all these distributions in our upcoming videos. So I'll just say WSL -install and then press enter. So we'll just wait for the installation to get complete. So the installation started. We can see it says installing Ubuntu. Okay, and WSL is very good for students like who don't want to install any third-party virtualization software on their laptop, and but they want to practice Linux commands, and they want to practice get their hands on Linux. So for them this WSL is very good, and also it's good for corporate employees because their corporate laptops won't allow them to run any third-party softwares because they need to take prior approvals and business justifications. So this is also great for corporate employees. You can use WSL. This is developed by Microsoft and this is already installed on your laptop and you can use it. So you can see it says Ubuntu has been installed. So just imagine how quick and how fast, this is to just to install Ubuntu, right, or any Linux distributions. So it says launching Ubuntu. Okay, now we need to provide the Unix username. So we will type user1. Okay, hit enter, and now we need to provide the password. Okay, retype the password. Hit enter, and we are done. The operation completed successfully. So installation is successful. Okay, now it says welcome to Ubuntu 22.04.3 LTS. So now we are inside our Ubuntu virtual machine. Let's check what it looks like when you have WSL installed on your laptop. So open up the terminal, and this is my Linux virtual machine which is installed inside my Windows OS. So I can type all sorts of Linux related commands. So if I want to see the Linux related informations, then I can type cat etc *release. Here you can see this is my Ubuntu machine, right, and the release is 22.04. If we want to see the disk related commands, we can type df-h, right. Also we can type neofetch, right. So this is also a great command line tool to see the OS version and the kernel version, and we can see the uptime and everything, right. Also the best part is, as I mentioned you can run GUI, like graphical user interface applications also. So for that, we can type Nautilus. So you can see now I am inside my Linux file system, right, and it is in GUI, it is not in the CLI form, right. Okay, now since we are inside our Ubuntu distribution, let's see how to exit and then relaunch your Ubuntu or the Linux distribution again from start. So first I will exit from my Ubuntu machine, exit. Okay, now I am back to my Windows PowerShell, so I will exit PowerShell. Okay, so there are basically two methods to launch your Linux distribution on your laptop. So the first is open PowerShell as administrator. So I will open PowerShell. Okay. So now to enter your Linux distribution, just type WSL and hit enter. Now see, we are inside our Ubuntu machine. Okay, I'll show you few more commands to get inside your Linux machine from your PowerShell or CMD. So I will exit again. Okay, the next command is WSL-D, and D is for distribution. Then type Ubuntu, and then type -u is used for the username, and then type the username user1. So this is good for situation where you have multiple distribution installed and you have multiple users also. So you can specify the distribution with -d, and you can specify the user with -u, and then hit enter. So now see, again we are inside our Linux distribution, okay, as user1. Now I will show you how you can enter to your Linux distribution as the super user, that is as root. Okay, so for that just exit. Okay, back to PowerShell, then we will type WSL-u, U is for user, and then type root. Okay, so just see, we are inside our Ubuntu machine and we logged in as the super user, that is root. So let's explore few basic WSL commands. So the first command is WSL-L-V. So with this command, we can see what are the Linux distributions installed on our Windows OS, and we can see the status of those Linux distributions. So we can see we have Ubuntu distributions installed and the state is running, and it shows version 2. So this is the WSL version. Okay, I have all these basic WSL commands documented, so don't worry, I'll provide the link for this documentation, okay, for your reference. Okay, so you can see here I have put to check the WSL version, to check WSL status. Okay, so we have seen all these commands already. So how to list available Linux distributions, okay, and then how to install, okay, and then just now we have executed this command WSL-L-V to see the installed Linux distributions. Okay, now we have another command which says to update WSL. So in case you are on WSL1, you can use this command to update the WSL version. WSL-update. Okay, so it's checking for updates, and it says the most recent version of Windows Subsystem for Linux is already installed, because we are already on version 2. Now there are commands which says to shut down WSL. Now if you type WSL-shutdown, this command will immediately terminate all running distributions and the WSL2 lightweight utility virtual machine. So in case you are running multiple distributions, if you run this command, then this command will terminate all the running distributions. Okay, and we have another command called terminate. So the difference between shutdown and terminate is that this command will terminate the specified distribution or stop it from running, which means if you have multiple distributions and you want to terminate a specific distribution, then you can use the terminate command with the distribution name. So we will check this command. Back to our PowerShell, and we know that WSL-L-V, we have Ubuntu distributions which is running. So we will terminate this Ubuntu distribution. So we'll type WSL-terminate, then the distribution name, so Ubuntu, and hit enter. The operation completed successfully. Okay, so now we will check whether this command executed successfully or not. So we will type again WSL-L-V, hit enter. Now see, now it says the distribution we have installed is Ubuntu and the state is stopped. The next command we will see how to uninstall the Linux distribution from your Windows OS. So the command is WSL-unregister and the distribution name. Okay, so it says once unregistered, all data, settings and software associated with that distribution will be permanently lost. Reinstalling from the store will install a clean copy of the distribution. Okay, so this will destroy all your data related to that Unix distribution. Okay, so we will check this command. So we will type WSL-unregister, then the distribution, that is Ubuntu, because we have Ubuntu distribution installed. Hit enter. Okay, so it says unregistering, the operation completed successfully. Now to verify this, we'll type our command WSL-L-V. Now see, it says Windows Subsystem for Linux has no installed distribution, which means the Ubuntu distributions which you have installed is now completely removed, or it is completely uninstalled from our Windows OS. In our coming session, we will explore more on WSL. Also, we will see how to install and integrate Docker Desktop with your WSL. Till then, keep learning, keep practicing. Take care. Bye-bye.